Hello, welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. Today is officially launch day. For the past couple months, I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to get to this point. And now that it's here, it is both equally terrifying and exciting. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. But the truth is, I've never been a social media guy. So never in a million years until very recently did I think I'd be doing this. So today symbolizes big monumental uncomfortable shift from that of social media passive scroller to that of content creator. Why am I doing this? We'll get there. But first, let's ask a couple questions. Who am I? Why the fuck should you care what I have to say? And what's this channel going to be all about? So, well, my name's Nick, and I am a self love and confidence coach and the creator of the Slingshot Method, which is my 90-day program I take my one on one clients through to reach a level in themselves that they didn't even dream was possible. But it's not why you should listen to me. That's who I am now, but I spent a lifetime being the polar opposite of that. Listen, I'm just a guy, no different from any of you out there. But I am someone that grew up being shy and insecure with low self worth, never felt he was good enough or worthy of the better things. And I told myself that story for a long time. And now my root cause was low self worth. And then a lot of things followed that were a byproduct of that: sadness, depression, anxiety, poor work ethic, numbing myself with drugs and alcohol to avoid the pain. A long list of just negative emotional thoughts and patterns. Jealousy, blaming others, making excuses, judging other people. Because I was so insecure of who I was, it was easier to judge and project onto others just to avoid what I hadn't dealt with yet. And I went through a lot. It was a very defeating life for a long, long time. It's like grew up quiet, shy, and insecure. When I went away to college, that shifted a little bit where it was easier to come out of my shell. But it was false confidence. It was booze fueled confidence. Then telling myself, I need this to be fun. I need this to be cool. I remember there's a very significant moment in my life when I was my college graduation and walked across that stage, got my diploma, shook that hand, and I took those first two steps off the stage and I thought to myself, oh shit, now what? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? I'm 21 years old. I just went to college to have that answer, and I don't have the answer. I knew I didn't want the party to stop, but I didn't know what I want to do. So I avoided it. And I just led this fun party lifestyle for a long time. And it worked in the beginning. It was a lot of fun. Fast forward several years down the line, now it's becoming not so much fun. And I remember at that point just thinking to myself, I want to change. I need to change. But I don't know how. I don't have anybody to talk to, anybody to guide me. So did what I always did, and I avoided it. And I kept kicking that can down the road. And now this party lifestyle, which started off fun, became self destructive. That low self worth turned into self loathing. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I hated the person who I was. And it's so funny. I remember at the time just thinking, maybe if I get a girlfriend will fix me. Someone else will fix me, which is a bullshit way of thinking. I know that now. I didn't at the time. And you know what? The universe gave me exactly what I asked for, but it gave me the emotional vibrational match for who I was at the time. And I attracted this toxic, abusive partner that had narcissistic personality traits, and I was low to begin with, and that destroyed me. That timeline went on for a couple years where throughout it I became a shell of myself. My very identity, my core was gone and rotten, and I was just hurt and broken. My mental state got so bad for so long that it impacted my physical body. There was a pocket in time where every single month I went to the pharmacy and I picked up my prescription of Adderall, I picked up my prescription of Xanax, and I picked up my prescription of Percocet. Adderall to start the day and keep me going, Percocet throughout the day to ease my physical pain, and Xanax at night to shut it all off. There were so many pockets in time where the best parts of my day were going to sleep, and the worst parts of my day were waking up only to live this nightmare all over again. And it's funny now, looking back on it, I realize that 95% of those wounds were self inflicted. And the funny thing is, all that pain and all that suffering, I reached a point now where I look at all of it with gratitude. There's a saying where, they say it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And in my case, I wasn't any different. It was a lifetime of poor decisions, poor mindset, and a shitty way of thinking that brought me down to a point where I just hit rock bottom. But what rose from that was incredible. But it was right then and there where I said to myself, never again. Never again will I allow myself to be this way, to feel this way, to act this way. I am a parent at this point, and I can't be the person that raises my son with the person who I was my entire life. I had to change. I didn't know how to do it, but I was determined to make it happen. So I just took a leap of faith. I closed my eyes and started walking blindly forward. And my course of action at the time was just to consume and learn and study as much as I could from every big name in this self growth space, all the major thought leaders, just learning and starting to apply these things that I've learned. And you know what? A couple years went by with this, and I had some improvements. Things were getting a little better, but there wasn't a monumental shift or change. And then I had my aha breakthrough moment. And now this was nothing that I read from a book or learned from a thought leader. It was something that I created for myself. I was at a point in life where I realized, well, shit, I made the mistake of being comfortable when I had no business being comfortable at that point in time. So what I did was I created something on my own to shake that up in a major way. And when I did that thing, it was life changing. It changed the trajectory of my life forever. Things that I didn't think were possible started happening to me and for me. And from that, it was just a steady rise. So now I was able to manufacture these breakthroughs without having the breakdowns. I went from a place of self loathing to self love to self confidence. And that's who I am now. But it wasn't for all that pain and suffering, I never would have been to this place. So who am I? Listen, I'm just a guy. I'm no different from any of you out there. And I share this because I know I'm not the only one. So many of us struggle with life. So many of us are prisoners inside of our own minds. But when you learn the things to escape it, and you can learn and see how beautiful life can be, it's it's unbelievable. So the part of this channel is to share all these things that I've learned along the way to bring you up to this place. So like I said, I'm just a guy. I still have my own fears, doubts, and insecurities. The difference is now is I've learned to face my fears. I doubt my doubts. And if there are things that I'm insecure about, I ask myself why that is and get to the root of why that is. Is it real, or is this just my bullshit ego telling me a story that's not true? And if there are things that I'm insecure about, I take action to correct it. And the funny thing is, I said, I am a self love and confidence coach. And I am not confident about this. What? Did a confidence coach just say he's not confident? Yeah. Now, I am confident in my ability to coach others. I am confident about the messages that I will share on this channel will bring value. If you take the time to listen, learn, and apply them, I am confident it'll make you better from where you are today. I am not confident in creating content because I have never done it before. Confidence isn't something that you're born with. It's a skill. It's a skill that you earn. And you earn that by taking consistent, uncomfortable actions. You take those uncomfortable actions long enough where they become comfortable. And that's where confidence is created. And any single one of you out there can do this in any aspect of your life that you choose to apply it to. But it does not come easy. It does not come without being uncomfortable. But what you'll soon realize is fear is just a construct of your mind. And when you learn to stare it down and face it, the things that come on the other side of fear will change your life. Now, as a life coach, it's kind of like, what's the question? Like, what is life? There's several answers to that. But one of the ones that I like is life is nothing more than your perception of reality based off of the experiences that you've had in this lifetime. If life isn't going the way that you want it to, well, let's learn how to change your perspective. Change your perspective, you change your life. So yeah, I am not confident in creating content because I have never done it before. And this first video is going to be the hardest one. The next one will be a little bit easier. Video 10 is going to be so much easier. Video 100, who knows where it's going to go from there, but eventually I'm going to reach a point where this becomes natural. Right now, this is not natural. If I was sitting across from you, I could talk about this stuff openly, honestly, with emotion, but me, alone in front of a camera, it's weird and it's uncomfortable to me. But I'm not letting it stop me. I'm going to push through it. So yes, I have fear around being a content creator. You don't think it's in my head wondering, what if this fails? What if people make fun of me? You know what? But I'm pushing past that. I'm doing it anyway because I could think this is stupid. This isn't going to work. I'm choosing not to think that way. I'm choosing to believe, telling myself this will work. Instead of focusing on an uncertain future and thinking of the worst things that happen, I'm having the mindset of thinking what could happen. What if this goes right? What if I reach an audience and connect with people and help them along their journey? Help them up to get to the place where I am now from a place where I once was. What if I build my coaching practice from creating this content and then I can earn my living by being of service to others? How fulfilling that would be for me. And that, kids, that's the first lesson. What is the first step on any journey? Let's just use the example, you decide to run a marathon and you've never run a marathon before. You've only run a 5K, but now you're gonna run a fucking marathon? What's the first step in that journey? Is it buying a good pair of running shoes, getting some fitness tracker equipment? Is it creating a training regimen? No. The first step on any journey is to believe, to tell yourself that this can work, this will work, and to focus on that. Focus on all the things that could go right instead of the things that could go wrong. If you start off that journey telling yourself, this is stupid, I'm going to fail, how likely are you to give it your everything working up to that moment? Are you going to train as hard as you could have telling yourself this is pointless and I'm stupid for doing it. Now, if you look at it the other way with belief and tell yourself this is going to work, I'm going to run this marathon, I'm going to finish this race, I am going to do something that I have never done before. And when I accomplish this, I am going to feel amazing for doing it. It's more likely in that situation to succeed. Now, I know some of you are out there saying, well, Nick, I believed before and I still failed. Maybe. A belief is not a guarantee that it's going to work. But I guarantee you you are more likely to succeed by believing that you can instead of telling yourself that you won't. And when it comes to failure, a failure is only a failure if you don't learn anything from it. Yes, you may have done things before and it didn't work out. But what did you learn? How did you grow? Those lessons learned in failure make you better prepared for success the next time around. But if you just give up on anything in your future because you failed once and now you just settle for this ordinary existence, you failed before you've even started. There's something that I keep on my phone and it just says, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And it's so true. It's part of the things that I work with people on is teaching them how to identify all the things that scare them and overcome it. And think about the feeling that you get anytime that you've overcome a fear. How good did that fucking feel? So maybe change your perception around fear instead of focusing on the thing that scares you. Focus and think about how good it's going to feel when you overcome that. The entire purpose of my program is to take people to a place of love, joy, and happiness and keep them there. When you're in that state, things start coming to you instead of you having to chase them. It's an incredible thing when you get to that point. So the channel name is It Starts With Self. My coaching business is named the same. Why? Because if you want more, if you want better, if you want to earn more money, find a better job, become a better parent, foster better, healthy relationships, romantically, platonically, it doesn't come from out there. It comes from within. It all starts with self. I started with self-loathing. Once I shifted my mindset and was committed to change, self-loathing turned to self-healing. Self-healing turned to self-learning, which in turn turned to self-growth. Self-growth turned to self-love, and then it turned to self-confidence. The pathway to service starts with self. I am only in a position to do this now because of all the things that I have learned. And in the beginning, it was all self-serving. I did this for me because I needed to be better. And I have achieved it. And part of the reason why I'm doing this now is just because I know what it's like to be there. I know what it's like to struggle, to live in doubt, fear, and insecurity, to tell yourself that you're not good enough. And the thing is, if you tell yourself that story long enough, you start to believe it. And it impacts everything. I almost think like I was destined to suffer in so many different ways. So now that I can empathize and relate to so many different people on so many different levels. But it all starts within. And the purpose of this channel is I'm going to share so much of this stuff that I've learned along my way. I had to learn it and apply it to myself. I see how it's changed my life. I look at myself in the mirror right now and it's someone that I love. And I spent a lifetime looking in the mirror at someone that I hated. And now that I see what life can be versus how I let it be in the past, I want to help bring that out in each and every one of you. So this channel is going to feature a bunch of different stuff ranging from mind, body, and soul. Because it takes all three of those things working in harmony and balance to achieve a life that you're destined for, not the one that you're settling for. So in closing, what are my intentions for this channel? Well, my intentions are twofold. I'm doing this because It's a way for me to create and build an audience so I can grow my coaching business. I've learned and applied these coaching techniques for 2+ years, and I've been operating in the shadows. And I realize in order for me to make this shift, to earn my living by being of service to others, I have to put myself out there to build an audience so I can attract people to me so I can work with them to change their lives. So part of this is for me to grow and build my coaching practice. But that's not the only purpose. The other purpose is for you. I realize I can't work with everybody, but I want to help people so far and above and beyond than the individuals I'm working with. So this is a free space for anybody and everybody to join, listen, learn, and follow. Because if I can do it, so can you. I was a lost cause. And if I didn't make the changes that I did, I'd be dead by now. But instead of being dead, I am thriving. And this is terrifying, but I'm doing it anyway. And my intention is to share these things that I have learned in hopes that you listen, learn, and apply them to make yourselves better. So we will have ongoing content as this channel progresses. This is just the intro. And thank you again for taking the time to listen. This all starts from humble beginnings. And if you are here now at the very beginning, chances are you are friends or family, and I thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. And one thing that I want to ask of you that means so much more to me than just being here yourself is to help me grow this. If you yourself are not struggling, we all know people who are. Please share this with them. Bring them into it. Now, if you shared it on your main social media page, that is great. But what if you were to reach out to an individual that you're close with, that you know is struggling, and say, hey, I hear this guy, he's making some good points, and I thought of you. Form that connection that way. That would be the biggest gift that you can give to me right now. And this first video is wrapping up, and now I have to show up consistently to make this happen and build this audience and share my message in hopes of bringing out a better version of you. So thank you for being here, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to creating the future ones. So have a good day, and we'll see you soon.